Hello and welcome to the Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne. We're live in the Full Speed Event Studio. I'm really looking forward to this one. It is, of course, Velo Skin January, and we are in the Volcano Climb After Party. We head our way right up to the top after what is a really fast route on the way round. Tuesday and Wednesday has seen some cracking riding from our competitors. Let's call them competitors because that's what they are. Once that go, go, go happens, let's face it. And it is going to be another thriller because this is a circuit that never fails to disappoint, and it's a climb that suits lots of different styles of rider as well. So not just a climber, but also somebody who's maybe a puncher, a ruler, a sprinter. They can all get there. There's different ways to use those skills on the climb at the finish. And of course, we're going to be looking after everybody on the way round. Our yellow and red beacons primed, ready to go. And as you can already see, our yellow and red beacons, well, they are just over there. They're all lined up, ready to go with 8 minutes on the clock at the moment. Now, we are going to be heading into a prize draw as well as part of the support from Velo Skin of the Donny Chaingang. They look after the members of the DCG gang. So for those of you who maybe don't know how this works, the ride is free on Zwift. We keep that ride free. It's got free entry. You can jump on and ride. And that's true whether it's the women's or the men's. Difference between the two is the men's event is a secret event, and that is basically so that we can keep a grip on what's going on, because it gets a bit wild at times with a few wild and spurious people wanting to join. So what we do is we ask everybody to register, and you can register for free. It's really simple. You register for free. We send you the link with 45 minutes to go and with about 25 minutes to go, and that comes to you, and then you just join. Really straightforward. As long as you make it past the spam box and you're not somebody who we've banned or we think is an absolute lunatic or something equally as daft. If you want to avoid the process of registering and getting that link just before the event, you can join and donate. If you donate to the gang over the course of a month or to the end of the season, and there are two options available, we then say thank you in a number of ways. Number one, we send you those links direct to your email inbox, and that means that at the start of the week, you can click on them and join whichever ride you want. You've got in, and you've got those links, no messing about. We tell you how far we're going. We tell you where the finish line is, what the finish line is, how many laps there are, how much elevation, who your yellow beacon and your red beacon are as well. On top of that, we have lots of great offers and discounts as well. And you can see all of the people that are along the base of the screen over there. They're also just a little bit higher up there as well. And that is 1080 OT Gritty, a Continental Velo Skin, Halo and Nonnas, all looking after the members of the gang. So, for example, Gritty, 20% discount. Big giveaway from them in November. 1080, 3 pairs of Oakleys. Full custom Oakleys going away. And again, big discounts. OTE, looking after the riders, 20% discount from them throughout the course of the season. Got 20% off Velo Skin with the discount code, 10% off Halo, 20% on giveaway month. Continental coming up in February. We've got Nonnas coming up for the Spring Classics in March. And all of this by donating. It's £25 for a monthly donation. And if you look at that in the terms of a gym membership or whatever, then yeah, you know, it's on a par. We don't charge for the ride. It's simple. It's a donation to help keep the gang going. So, for example, the show here actually requires a lot more processing power and speed and computer power than we would use, say, for an international World Cup broadcast. It's that demanding, and such is the level of graphics and the fact we stream it across multiple platforms, etc., etc. Russ, myself, put a lot of time in. We want to look after the riders today. I think it was 2 hours of phone calls and 2 hours of prep for the rides this week. That's just today, never mind any other time. Russ, again, spending a lot of time prepping, looking at routes, making sure everybody's in, looking after riders who get in touch. All that takes time, and it's time we could be spent doing something that paid the bills, to be honest. So if you can help offset some of the costs of the hosting, the internet, the broadcasting, the kit, the setup, etc., we really appreciate it. So we do say thank you with all those discounts, and we have a massive giveaway as well. So we are giving away a huge prize. It is going to be going out, and as you can see, the number generator is rolling. It's a year's supply of chamois cream from Velo Skin, plus bidons, bottles, plus caps and travel packs going out to somebody. Each member of the gang has been given a number. AD being the first in alphabetical order is number 1, and it rolls all the way down to W's. Down at 53, so there's a 1 in 53 chance, if you are a member of the DCG gang, of winning a year's supply of the chamois cream. Let's see who's going to take that out. I'm really looking forward to that. Now, let's get on with tonight's ride. Tonight, Yellow Beacon, the one and only Russ Downing, the Fonzie Bear himself, is going to be taking our riders out and away. Russ, of course, a former national champion. Leading his half K, we go round what is effectively, it's called one full lap. Basically, it's 2.5 times around the circuit. We then head up into the volcano and start to make our way up the climb. Now, it's really confusing when you look at that map. That is for sure. What we want to do is make that a little bit simpler for you. So we have got a slightly different view of it in a minute with courtesy of VeloView, because of course nobody really needs to steer on Swift if they don't want to. So Russ will be leading, he'll be controlling the pace, so our riders need to stay with him until the go. At that point, well, if they get distanced or before, then they can go and see John. John from the Royal Marine Cycling Association, the CA, is going to be our man who's our Red Beacon John, very experienced man at the back. Apparently it's a Vulcan evening on the bus, so all things logical to join the bus. Could be because it's the thundering roar of wheels from another type of Vulcan, but we will see as they go around. John, our Red Beacon tonight, and already kitted in a red and black kit. Now, let's simplify that route for you, because this is the 2D version. We often show you the 3D version from VeloViewer. Got to say a big thank you to Ben Lowe and the gang. This is the 2D version. And essentially, as you can see, we kick off, we roll our way in and through, and it is bumpy. Bumpy is a good description. Wouldn't call it anything more than lumps and bumps. No major climbs till you hit 36k. Essentially, from 32k, we go along the beach side. At 33k, we climb into the volcano. 34 is running through and around the volcano again. 36 goes on to the major part of the climb as we turn up onto the spirals proper, and that takes us right out at 40. But that climbing is a minimal amount of the gang, so it's going to be really interesting to see what bikes people have chosen for tonight. Personally, I'll be going for the most aero thing possible to stay in with that group as long as possible, because when you look at that, it is mostly flat. So, your profile, once again, courtesy of VeloViewer. Your Red Beacon, John Garford. Your Yellow Beacon is Russ Downing. And myself, Matt Payne, going to be bringing you all of the action. So, our riders into their last minute. It's not going to be long before they are ready to go. I've got to say, quick reminder, stay around Yellow. We had some great riding on the WOW DCG last night. We had some amazing riding again on Tuesday's DCG. If you haven't watched them, get back over, watch the videos. Absolutely brilliant to see. Some great team spirit as well on the way through. So really, really important to make sure, please guys, that you stay around that Yellow Beacon. Play the game. That's what we want. We want everybody to have fun. That's the whole point of the gang. Life's too short to be miserable, even for me. And I'm a miserable soul some days. So a quick reminder, guys. Make sure you keep it with that Yellow Beacon. Away we go. Let's jump in with one of our riders as we set off. So here we go in with Bailey, just heading out from that start line. And it's like Jimmy Mack on board tonight. Good to have Jimmy back in with us as well. We're going to try and roll our way back to the rest of the group. Just seeing Mr. Bundy rolling out as well. So a quick reminder, if you are more than 20 seconds down and not doing twice the power that the bunch is doing, you won't get back. That is the kind of numbers you need to be doing. If in doubt, jump out, jump back in again, it will get you back in. So 20 seconds and twice the watts per kilo are the limit. So if the group are doing 1.2, you need to be doing 2.4 or similar. You need to do a jump out and drop back in again. Russ at the moment just at the back here, just distance a little bit off the group here, and quite a few riders distanced on the way through. Our avatar will be waiting on the line for all of our riders to roll in, and we are going to just follow this group out as they come on to the left-hand turn. Now that we're in with them, we're going to follow them through down on to the tunnel. So, guys, get yourselves around that yellow. Time to get that group on to the road. Let's see how they're going on the way down. Interesting to see. I think we've got Joe in as well. Joe Blackburn on here. Mr. Mason, you aren't going to get caught up, buddy. You may need to do a jump back out and a back in to get down the road to join Josh and the gang. So the power of the bunch motoring this group along. Looks like Mr. Potts back with us once again, buddy. You've got to squeeze in. Jump in with that group as fast as you can. Absolutely key. Get in with that gang. Looks like John just waiting to sweep riders up. Mason's coming at some pace, so looks like Mason may well make it. So through the riders go, heading in and down. So the gang on the way down into this lower section here, dropping down into the tunnels. Looks like Ryan Williams, the last of the riders in the bunch. A reminder, guys, remember, jump out, jump back in again if you are not doing double the power of that bunch. Looks like Tracy Seeley tucked it in to the group at the moment. So Tracy riding 3 chain gangs this week, riding on the Open DCG on a Tuesday and a Thursday, and on the WOW DCG on Wednesday. Sunny old day today. The group's starting to come back together a little bit, just starting to bunch up at the moment. So just taking a look across at the gang. Looks like Mr. Mason is going to do a jump out and a jump in. He's not going to make that catch. Keith Richardson at the moment in the back of this pack, just easing off. I'm not sure you're going to see Mr. Mason without Mason doing a rejoin at the moment. So our riders on the way in and through. Oh, nicely up into the section of the trees here. This little bit of fresh air as the riders come out. So Ryan just dropping in past John Garfoot. John, our red beacon tonight. Just keeping an eye on those riders at the back. This group moving very quickly indeed. We're not even hit the hilly sections. It certainly looks to me like it's going to be a tough day at the office for some, and I suspect John's going to get some company pretty quickly on the way through. So Mason just aiming on getting himself back in again. So Keith Richardson and Dale Williams are going to drop him back down there. They're on to the climb here, just putting the message out to Gareth. Not seeing a response from Gareth on his way through. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Mason says he's fine. That's what the man says. Let's see if he manages to get himself back in. So Richardson now kicking his way up here. Dale just, I think, waiting for Keith. Let's see how the riders get on. Greg Booker just tucked into this group. We'll get our camera up in the air. Greg, of course, one of our super fast riders. Question is, can he take this out? We'll have to wait and see. Going to be very interesting watching how he gets on with this. So let's watch these riders make the way up this slope. Certainly looks at the moment like coming over the top. The back of the bunch starting to close up. As we come in, we're going to take the right-hand turn. See Mr. Chamberlain here. So see Mark back in the gang. A real mix of riders coming through. So Mr. Mazzoni's running late. He may well be in. We'll see which one of the two it's going to be who comes and joins us. This is our disparate trio of riders off the back. We would normally say three riders might be a transfer of talent. These three riders, some of our fastest riders on the gang. Keith Richardson, Gareth Mason and Dale Williams, and this is going to be really interesting to watch these guys coming back in and through now. We're going to follow them in to the back of the bunch. Watch the numbers, watch the pace. So Dale, your reaction time is terrible. Make sure you use the number 6 key to see behind you. It's been dropped. He needs to get his feet, his finger out. You've got to have lightning quick reflexes to come back on with the gang. You can just see Mason at the moment just bringing this group back. Interesting to know, very similar bikes being chosen by Keith and by Gareth. The Ghost of Mason going for the lightest disc and aero wheel combination. Lightest disc combination, that disc wheel at the back key to be able to move fast on most of this course. It will give a little bit of a time on the way back out. Bestest is at level 45, 1.5 million sweat points. Indeed it is. So you've got to make level 45, but even the basic disc is quicker. So basic disc wheel from the firm beginning with Z. Can't mention them tonight, obviously, for obvious reasons. They are the any disc is quicker than a Tron bike on a flat or fast or rolling course even. So with some way to go to level 45. Right, looks like the group just starting to come back in. Neil Kerry just jumping into the group there. Looks like the gang is back together again. That's what we want to see, and less than 100 riders, which makes me happy because it's a lot easier to keep an eye on everybody on the way through. I'm sure Russ would like to have like 4,000 million, billion, zillion, trillion people on board, but personally, nice supplement. There is indeed earlier zip pairs. There are 2 pairs, any of this, and a deep wheel actually on here is not giving away very much either. Personally, I like the handling of that, the way it rolls over the terrain, particularly in Watopia. A aero wheel plus aero frame works really, really well. Mr. Blobby would indeed be proud of this. You can just see the gang on the way up here with pretty much everybody together. Just keeping an eye as the gang comes through. Looking good at the moment, though. So Keith, Gareth and gang all coming back in and on. Remember, of course, this is Veloskin a week on the Donny Chaingang. In fact, it's Veloskin month all the way to the end of January. That means that not only have we got today's ride, we have Tuesday's ride as well as a part of January. That will be covered on the show as well. Wednesday's WoW DCG will be covered as well, so the WoW DCG will be, but next week there will be no Thursday broadcast because I'm going to be heading out to Hoogerheide for the UCI World Championship Cyclocross. That is going to be coming out on the world feed for the UCI, so UCI YouTube. If you click on it and you find that you're blocked, it's because your VPN is in probably a geo-blocked area, so your VPN needs to be somewhere that isn't. For example, Brazil is not geo-blocked, and many other places as well. In fact, the UK is one of the most blocked areas for that, because of course we get great coverage of lots of events on things like Discovery and so on. So our riders continuing onwards and nice and smoothly at the moment. That group looking pretty good at the moment. Nobody getting too distanced at the minute. Looks like that group at the back with John Garford, Greg Booker just a little bit further behind, but Greg more than capable of looking after himself on the gang. So down past the Italian villas we go, heading into the turns coming down by the waterfall. We're going to drop down onto the causeway, on to the dirt here, just rolling with our red beacon. The group back together again, and looks like Mr. Bazzani just taking a little bit of a shortcut and just joining now. So it looks like Tom is in. Suppose he's actually managed not to say anything yet on his way through. It won't be long, I can guarantee you that. Right, group at the back on the way down, around the twists and turns, heading down in towards the causeway, across that spit of sand, heading in towards the volcano for the first time. We then go up the side out the far side, drop down through downtown Watopia, head out again, go around the loop, go around what's right, and then in here, then up the climb. So plenty of road to cover. Well, the gang very well behaved at the moment. So we've got Vin in there, everybody holding together. Tim Baggs in, Isaac Oliver's give us in here. Joe Blackburn, well, Joe was in the leading group right into that finishing sprint on Tuesday. Solo to victory on the WoW DCG on Wednesday. Yesterday, can Joe make it? 3 out of 3. She's riding all 3. Joe, if you go on to win something major like the Tour, of course, the Giro Donny, just let us know, you know, just make sure you credit it to the right people who fired up that ability to suffer on the Chaingang. But Farting hit Mr. Fulton on board. Wilson Sharp, that's going to be in Bale. Mr. Finch, Gidley, a real who's who. Turnicliffe in here. Joe Blackburn, lol, I'm too old. You're never too old, Joe. honest. Listen, I keep telling myself I'm going to win the Tour de France one day and win all the classics one day, but it's only in my head. I'm like about, 4 decades too late for that stuff, but there you go. Need a lot more talent, be a lot quicker, have pushy parents, get the right brakes, all the usual things. Yeah, Joe Blackman over 5 watts per kilo, finishing 20 minutes in total. Joe, an absolute beast on the bike and looking very, very strong. Do they have a tour for vets? That'd be good, wouldn't it? 3-week tour. Tour de vet. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should instigate that. A tour d'assurance for veteran riders. Yeah, it's called the E-Bike Series. Mr. Mason, that's my 5-minute power. Yeah, mate, it is, but I hate to break it to you, buddy, you weigh a little bit more. So the gang just splintered a little bit on the front on the climb, as you'd expect. I'm sure it's all going to be together very shortly indeed. Looks like the gang holding its own really today. Nice to see the group looking after each other. And Russ in here, of course, leading everybody along. Pied Piper to the gang's pack of followers at the moment, and Russ going to be bringing our riders around back in to the volcano. So it is Fellow-Skin Month, and do you know what? Because we are ticking our way through the volcano, why don't we pull and do an early draw? Do you know what? Makes a change, usually wait a little bit longer. So let's dive in and make sure that we've got our number generator running first of all, and dive in whilst we're watching Russ to the side. So our random number generator is rolling. 1 in 53 odds for our riders who are members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. One rider will take this away. It is A for Eddie at the front. It's W for Wayne at the rear. I should have 2 Waynes. One rider gets a year's supply of chamois. You'll see this very similar prize on social media, valued about 300 retail. It is a amazing prize. This is the sort of thing that will keep you sitting comfortably and can improve your riding, not just for the 12 months, for a long time. So let's see who is going to take this away. When we press the stop button, it will stop on a randomized number. Don't know where it will be, I'm not going to look. That number will translate to a rider. If it's a low number, it's going to be in the A's. If it's a high number in the top end of the 50s, it'll be the other end of the alphabet. Who will it stop on? It's on number 17. Well, this is a man who puts in the miles. He looks after everybody. He is an absolute star, and he's helped us since day one. It's not the G's. It's not the I's. It's not the M's, and it's not the K's. It's in the J's. I tell you now, it's not Joanne. It's not John. It's not Jim. It is a James. We have 2 James on the gang. It is James Allen, aka the Wolf, who has won this. So James Allen is the rider who is number 17, and we are going to try and just prove that to you. If I can get the camera to show the right piece of paper with the number on it, and then move the screen across, you should just about be able to see that Jimmy is rider number 17, James Allen. There you go. Well done, Jimmy Allen. So Jimmy taking away the prize today. So congratulations to Jimmy Allen. Year supply of chamois cream, plus bottles, plus cap, plus travel pack. Well done, buddy. And that makes a nice change as well. So there you go, well deserved. The random number generator strikes, and James was number 17, which means I can turn off the random number generator. So well done to Mr. Allen. Congratulations, sir. And a massive thank you to the team at Valeskin. Jimmy, no stranger to putting in the miles. And I don't think there's going to be very many more popular winners, to be honest, on the way through. She just got it down. I'm going to go home. Oh, no, I am. I'm in the studio, so seems to be my second home, pretty much. So Jimmy taking that away. The gang basically all together. Our beacons keeping a check on the end. A very well done, Mark Grant. Oh, dear, that is terrible. That is about the worst pod I have seen for a long time. So brilliantly done, and great to see. So a year's supply of chamois cream. Not a bad price at all. Right, one lap complete. So I'm going to run it. The Chuck Norris of the DCG. Love it. Absolutely love it. That could well be. If he wasn't already called the Wolf, that would be it. Okay. Let's get down to business and make him use some of the soothing gel on them legs. Right, let's watch the ramp on its way up. Yeah, great support from Valeskin. And of course, it is a way of saying thank you to everybody who's a member of the DCG gang, who contributes to the gang. Matt, any chance so you can do Euro lottery draws to make it less painful when you don't win? Afraid not, I wish. That's a nice contract to have, but sadly not. And the odds aren't 1 in 53 either, to be brutally honest. Next month is going to be Continental, who are our key supporters. Shelley & Co, based down in Aberystwyth, on our minds quite a lot this month, and going to be back in with us. They will kick off in earnest, not next week, but the week after. Next week is a split week, as you would expect, given that the January rides end on the start of the week. And remember, of course, we will be bringing you the shows on Tuesday and on Wednesday. Russ will be here on Thursday, keeping everybody under control as well. Some cracking routes coming up. I've had a sneak preview of all the routes that Russ has got planned, and looks like it's going to be an absolute cracking month on the Donny Chaingang. So please, guys, make sure that you get your selves registered nice and early. We'd rather see everybody registered. We know who's on, who's likely to be there if there is an issue, rather than people not on there and not registered and missing the ride. Just register. It's no skin off our nose if you register and you don't turn up. It makes no difference. We don't get paid anymore. We don't get paid any less. It makes no zero. We still get paid nothing. What it does do is it means that we fulfill our duty of care. We've got a lot of young riders on the ride, and we need to know who is on there in case there is an issue. We also, of course, like to be able to look after everybody, and of course, the more numbers that we can show that we have registered on the gang, the better it is. Because guess what? Those people who look after the gang, they like to see people getting the support. They like our riders to be out and enjoying themselves and taking part in the gang. So please, guys, make sure you get registered. We'd like to see you on the gang. It is really, really important. Okay, back underneath the tunnels once again. Our tunnel's looking very sort of subterraneanly aqua shine on our riders at the moment, just because it's blazing sunshine where up above the tunnels. Not so much that today. Not that I've seen much at all at the outside. We've had been doing a little bit of work on the studios, doing some upgrading in preparation for what's going to be a very busy season. Got a few new series coming out, which we're looking forward to. We'll be continuing with the Crosscast podcast until the end of the season. In terms of the cyclocross, we've got the Besançon Cyclocross World Cup this weekend, followed by the Hooger Heider. Got a little bit of a break then, where we will be covering the esports cycling on a Sunday, as well as the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday Donny Chaingang. Then we're going to be across doing some work with the UCI, and of course we've got the very busy spell where everybody is going to be aware that there's going to be a lot on and that is the World Championships for most of the cycling disciplines are going to be in Glasgow. So I say going to be in Glasgow, they're going to be in Scotland. It might not be the party line, but it's the truth. We're going to have the downhill in Fort William. We are also going to be having the cross-country in Innerleithen. The track, of course, in the main track centre in Glasgow, the road out and around up to Loch Lomond, etc., as well as down into Glasgow itself. We've got lots more in the indoor venues. It's going to be an absolute blast. I'm really looking forward to putting words to lots of action from lots of different disciplines. There's going to be a heck of a lot of homework. That's all I'm going to say. I hope the researchers behind me are ready with the Pro Pluses and the coffee. They're going to need it. Right. The gang up and riding. Heading up on to the climb. There we go. Looks like Russ just holding the back. Russ and John are doing a two up together at the moment. Our two beacons, look at that. Two people charged with looking after everybody, just side by side on the way up the climb here. Brilliant to see. Cracking image that. Love it. Russ and John caressing the top. So Jimmy in. This is the man who's going to be sitting comfortably no matter what on his way. It is Jimmy Allen. Interestingly, Jimmy is shooting the disc going for the full-on Tron machine. If you never watched Tron, watch it, then realise that the character played by Rutger Hauer, he died the same year his character died in the film. There you go. Today's bit of trivia. Actor died in the same year that he was supposed to, the cyborg he was playing, supposed to die in the film. Stranger things happen. There you go. So Wayne tucked in nicely. Wayne, of course, living up in Scotland, in with Velocity 44. Saw some real interests on Velocity 44. Got their bike fitting service up and running. Definitely worth a trip if you're up there. Wish I was taking my bike up to Scotland. Doesn't look like I'm going to have the chance to do any riding whilst I'm up there. But then again, it is going to be in the middle of August, the World Championships up there. So I think probably going to need some midge stuff rather than anything else. Where is everybody going? Down away from you. We're making his way back up. I think it's got Mr. Mason's wheel. It's just coming on to now. Rich Langmead nicely tucked in here as well. It's all rolling on. Wayne, yeah, Matt, bring your bike. Do you know how many hours I'm going to be sat in the studio, buddy? I wish I was going to get a chance to ride. Either bring the mountain bike up, I might bring a BMX. I do have one. Can't ride it very well, but it'd be great fun. Might have to take the road bike up, we'll see. Could be persuaded I might just leave it in France, to be honest, the road bike. Sunshine, smooth tarmac, good cafes. Yeah, I think the road bike could probably stay there. Won't bring the mountain bike back. So, pace winding up. Still not having really lost anybody. Jimmy's the man on the back at the minute. Let's have a look. Yeah. Jimmy rolling along nicely. Maybe he's just reveling in the thought he's lost in his own world of Velaskin products. Chamois cream, soothing gel, shaving cream, moisturiser. Moisturiser is really good, actually. Can definitely recommend that. Oh, looks like Tom Lindley's been let out of having detention. What did you get detention for, Tom? Don't get your homework, usual. Good to have Tom back in. Jimmy's on eBay. But he's not. I'll tell you something. You'd not get me to sell with any of mine ever. Ever.com. It is the best thing ever. You told me you didn't get detention. Okay, so Tom didn't get detention. Or were you polishing the teacher's apple? That's not a euphemism. Sounds so wrong. He's been TikToking again, probably. Yeah, that'll be the one. It's all be real now, anyway. That's the latest social media. You'd be a TikToker, an Insta, or a something similar. Russ's heart rate needs a kickstart. It's like, nah, show me on screen. Let's have a look. They don't give teachers anymore, they give them Bitcoin. Oh, all right, okay, so it's Bitcoin is the way to go, is it? Biz is at 91. I think mine's higher than that. No, it's not, 78, there you go. But it's not that by the end. Right. Just looking for Russ, actually. We lost him. Where's he gone? Here he is. I found Russ. 89. Oh, putting a bit of pressure on. I'm sure it is warm enough at the back, indeed. As we make our way through, back in watching John. So whilst our gang make the way in towards the Italian villas, just a few bits of things to let you know about. Next section, yeah, shall we rewind that? The next of our episodes of the Crosscast is going to be recorded with a very special guest. That is going to be a former multi-time national champion joining us on the Crosscast. This is the pre-Worlds Crosscast. And we also, as well as that, have the latest in Podium Gate. Yes, it does have a name now. The inability to hand out the right medals to the correct people and to leave people feeling very disappointed continues onwards. And we have more news about Podium Gate. It's not quite like Watergate. But similar, but bike related instead. So that's going to be coming up. We've also got lots more happening in terms of in real life race going to be coming through the summer. I've got the project on the go out in France, and looking forward to bringing you some more news about that and what we're getting up to out there. Russ, of course, super busy with Bike Flex at the moment. Bike Flex just continuing to move forward. Just launched a new cycle to work scheme as part of the Bike Flex scheme. And don't forget, of course, if you just want to ride indoors, you can get a Wahoo bike on Bike Flex. Can be done. Talk to Russ. He is your man. It's real simple. That coffee machine's coffee. Put right on your bike. And when it's going to press the 3Gs. You won't find out about 3Gs, but he can tell you about everything else. Okay, let's have a little look. Looks like Mark Chaingang just having to put a bit of pressure on here. Just coming around the side of Mr. Story here. Just going to have a quick check. So Daniel Story. Daniel just been distanced here. And not in time for the rejoin either. So looks like Daniel just feeling the pressure there. Daniel, if you are going to jump off, let us know if you're watching live, or more importantly, can you let our red beacon know, because I suspect he's likely to be heading your direction. Can I put a coffee to work machine through cycle to work as essential equipment? Don't know, but Finn, if you can, let me know, please. So Dan getting an up from Jimmy Allen. Looks like Tim Baggs has either dropped back or dropped out. Let's have a little look. Could be a tech issue. Dan's, in fact, out. It's just gone. So Dan just distance now. Going to run back up to John. So I think John just waiting for Dan. Mr. Runner, I beat lots of people to lots of things, mostly because I'm an insomniac who's on coffee. Alright. Let's have a look. Just Mark Etches to persuade now to come in. That's not going to happen. Mark's too tied to his ride, needs some fresh air because he has to sit in front of a computer screen all day. Not sure what my excuse is. So it looks like John and Dan are going to be getting together. Mark Etches is a hard nut to crack. He is indeed. I'd agree 100% with that. So John going to be heading back for Dan. We're just going to take a little bit of a run up with the big bunch at the moment. They're actually just at the top of the climb. We've got to try and camouflage. Should we fly through the mountains because we can? There we go. Welcome to the inside of the volcano. All of the rocks, they are all formed, and you will see that they get very, very hot in a moment. It's amazing what you can do with a drone cam. Fly underground. Amazing. Gets even better later when we go on the volcano. Can you tell I've had a very long, very trying day? Yeah, probably. Right. Here we go. Into the volcano once again. Coming up to 22k. Let's give you a quick reminder of that map. Bing. There we go. Remember, 40.4 is the finish. Got to yank our way out, round, and back in again. I'm loving the fact people are saying you need to put an Apple tag in to G to give you an indication where we are. Currently at 22. In fact, it's probably a little bit more than that. I think it was late June. No, 22.4. So 22.4k. We are currently just going through the volcano. We've got to drop down and then start to make our way back in. So basically, next time we approach the volcano, we'll be going up, in, and through it. So I hope you've all had a good look at that. You all know where you're going. Let's see what's going to happen. When are we going to come out? You can see the pace is winding itself up here. There's no calling out numbers. Everybody says stick by yarn. Everybody just slowly winds it up. Slowly but surely. Pressure is applied. Might have to have some more coffee. Very good it was too. Last of the cold coffee. Somebody said supplies quick. Can't promise you a better skin draw, but you know. Right. Getting on the way. That Dan says he's okay, just going at his own pace. Ooh, key. I think he's going to have company, whether he likes it or not, because John's there now, and he's got a minute 11 to the back of the bunch, which has got Russ on there, so it may well be that Danny's going to have some company. John won't hold his hand unless he's asked. Promise. He put up in front of the disciplinary. Not by us, though. Right, we'll get him home. John, you are an absolute star. Just the Royal Marines, not to leave anyone behind. Red Beacon will indeed do his job. John is an absolute safe pair of hands. He's an absolute superstar. Superstar! Okay, Russ, after doing the typing, get up there, mate. Come on. Up, up. Move up. In the words of the great John Herity, move up! Here he comes. Flying machine incoming! And again, we're back in the room. Sticky sound night tonight, somewhere along the lines. It might be because we've actually reduced the latency down. may have to do something about that for the next one. Reduced latency, unfortunately, has led to a minor technical issue. Get the odd sticky bit of sound. You don't need this in the anyway. So I think it should be criminal to have people picking up the top. Short one tonight. Don't know. We'll see. We're 41 minutes in. It's going to be criminal to have people cooking things with garlic upstairs whilst I'm stood in a studio underground. So, time running out for people to make a move that's before the volcano. We're going to be running down underneath the tunnels up to the Italian villas and up over the top. We just ticked over the 40 minutes yet, 41, 45. Just sitting in with Russ. Makes people nervous. I actually like doing this. I am not mean. Yes, I am. Mean and evil. Keep everybody worried. Watch over Russ and everybody gets twitchy. It's like magic. It's magic. That's what it is, it's magic. Oh, that's magic. Can't beat a good helicopter shot. Up the go, it's gone, go, has gone. Here we go. Knew it was likely to come. I love it. Chris Jesus is done at this stage. Well, I'll tell you something, there's a few people that aren't. Mr. Westwood has gone for it. One of our Summit riders absolutely rocketing in. They're looking to wind this up very quickly indeed here. So we can see they're going to drop down into the tunnels, and this is going to be at some pace at the moment. Here we go. So Garford knows that he's likely to get joined by quite a few people on the way through. Hutch up at the front, Westwood in there. You can just see, looks like Wine in there from Velocity 44. Joe Blackburn tucked in there, Dixon Moore in there. Dean Taylor seen just coming through, Jimmy Mack. Keeping quiet in there as well. Vin Donny in here. Bam the anvil from Josh Baylor. No, I love the anarchy that is caused by the anvil. More anvils. More mean and evil things to go wrong for people. We love the randomness. Russ, you could just ban them. It is possible. You can pick this. You can say we're not having anvils, but I think they're great because they just cause... So down on the descent, I agree with you, Tom. I like the anvil. It means that the lighter riders can keep up with slightly more gravitationally challenged riders on the downhill. Everyone gets a feather for the uphill. Nobody moans about the feathers. Everybody moans about the anvils. I don't know. Unless it has, says Josh. Well, that woke up Russ's heart rate. I think it's woken up a few. Let's take a little look. This group is starting to condense into a more so it looks like there's going to be a few riders up on the front of Mr. Shea here. So 73 riders in front in that leading group, with Gary on the way. Russ Senior, are you up the volcano this time around? Yeah, eventually you will be. You go in, you take the right-hand turn, you go through the volcano, you do basically round, taking left, and then go up to the top of the climb. So Shea, Mason, Royals, Elliott, Finch, Shaw, Bishop, Dowtree, Chamberlain, Dobson, Flynn, Lindley, And James now distanced from that leading group with John Garfoot and going to be Dan Story, the bus at the back, only 22 seconds in fact behind Mr. Ragoon, and 46 on Mr. James. So let's see how they get on. Mark Chamberlain distanced at this stage. Few people just starting to feel the pressure as we drop in with a certain Mr. Mazzone. It's very quiet tonight. Somebody's stolen his keyboard. I don't want to wish the chat on anybody, to be honest. So here we go. St. Piran rider just squeezing up towards the front, moving up. Get on about 2/3 of the way through. James Forbes in the win on the gang previously. Paul Mallon, another win on DCG gang. Clark on his way through. Tracy still tucked into this group. Sam Emsley in here as well. Good to see Sam on the gang again. And looks like Mr. Rollins nicely in here, but it's fracturing again. Baton Steamroller comes the next cry. Love it. It is a key power up to have on certain sections of this course. It makes a big difference. Now you can just see the group as they come across. Another move going. Booker this time, I think it is. He's just squeezing on the front. It is indeed splitting, not spitting. It don't need to come in. The biscuit's not going to go in the brew. It's splitting on the front. So Booker over the bridge, comes around the turn. The bunch is behind. That group is indeed fracturing. You can just see it's starting to be a little bit dotted up. Ryan Williams, his legs are hurting. Makes no change. It's your legs hurting, not you hurting everybody else's legs, mate. So AD in here, man who had the #1 plate for the prize draw. Interesting to see that Tom Hepson nicely tucked in here as well. Joe Blackburn in the gang up with that leading group. Interesting to see how Joe goes tonight. Third Chaingang on the trot. Fastest female on Tuesday. Fastest rider by a reasonable margin previously. Jimmy Mack, though, the rider who is on the offensive here. Jimmy almost looking as smooth as he did in his glory days. Jimmy, how'd you get your avatar to look so similar, apart from the fact maybe you're slightly different shape these days than this avatar? Certainly a very similar looking avatar. Oh, been joined by Indy the Trail Dog. That's coming down to join us down in the studio. You can just about hear him in the background. He's now managed to get himself trapped in the studio. So just excuse me, we have a trail dog to let out of the studio. Apologies, sir. Just had to go get him out. Right, okay. Find a wheel, find a group. There are lots of contenders tonight in the gang here. Jimmy Mack going from in the lead to being out the back. Foggy on the front this time round. Interesting to see. Rider who's been promising much over the last few rides. Will it be Foggy's ride tonight? Will Foggy be able to make this stick? Blackburn for the win. Now that would be a nice move. We will see. Joe on that climb. Williams for the win. What Ryan, says Dale. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Brilliant. Josh Mayland. Could it be Josh? That's a good question. Josh Mayland, of course, one of our key supporters from Halo Wheels. Nicely tucked in here, riding strongly, getting very, very strong. Pretty sure we're not on 73 riders in this group. It has been still done. Mick Hawkins, can see Mick in here. to have you back, Mick. Been missing in action a little while. Looks like 33 riders in here by the look of it. Just going to have a double check on here as the riders come through. Suspect 35 riders. Going to be the number up the road. 35 up the road. Going to be heading down into the descent. The group is indeed moving. We still got Foggy on the front. By the look of it, 9 seconds lead to Foggy. Oh, and the steamrollers come in from Booker. Perfect time to drop that in on this descent here. Well, Booker's gone with the steamroller. That is a good move on here. That's going to really reduce down the rolling resistance. And look at the gap he's opening up. Good move. He's not going to get much advantage anywhere else. Now, can Greg Booker take the win tonight? He has promised and promised. He's been up there. He's been fighting. We know he can climb. Come on, this is a man who's won hill climb after hill climb. He's a regular up at the top of their regular training out in the Peak District as well. But so I suspect that will be a short-lived attack here on his way down and through. So here we go. Let's see who is going to take this out. Who's going to get onto the wheels? You've got Foggy and Booker, but Malin just tucked in that group behind. Now, this is the right-hand turn. Are we going to see a move across to try and bridge across to the leaders? The riders off the front. Foggy at the moment has gone with Booker. They are your two riders who are going out of sight into the group, into the volcano. That is a dangerous duo to let go, but it's a long way from here to the finish. So Williams now 16 seconds the gap back from Foggy from Greg Booker. Josh Malin, second screen is broken. Not the day to have a broken screen, mate. $18 seconds. Now the gap from Booker and Foggy. Come on, guys. Right together now. This is away. You've got to make it out. Simon, where's the cafe? Yeah, I could do with one of those. That would go down very well at this moment in time. Ross, spam the chat after the go. Love it. 22 seconds. You can see it on your screens. Touch. Tough. Bottles were invented for. Right. Gap's opening now. This group not making much inroads at the moment. Maybe leaving it to the climb. Risky manoeuvre. Looks like Wilson now adrift. Westwood adrift. Tony Cliff leading this pack of riders through Keyworth. Donahoe, Taylor, Forrester, Tracy, the Terminator in here as well. So that pack going okay, but got a lot of work to do to pull back our leaders at the moment, though. This group not moving fast enough to make particularly inroads in. 22 seconds is the lead. That might need to use the number 6 key. That is your rear view mirror fairly regularly tonight. 19 seconds, so pulled a couple of seconds back out again. Foggy and Booker in here. They can't afford to finesse between the pair of them. Second on the Chaingang is better than 20 seconds. There's a lot of riders behind them, all queuing up, itching to have a go. Back up to 20 and again. So the dynamic duo question will be, if they do make it to the top, who is going to be Batman, who will be Robin, who is going to fly, and who will fall? Ryan Williams, can he make up 20 seconds on time? Big ass that. So in through the volcano we go now at 86. Simon Runnett is on a bit of a mission here to pull the gang back here. Dale Williams, I think, taking up the running as well. These two actually just starting to break a little bit of a gap clear. So it may well be that we're going to get two pairs off the front rather than it being a single pair, but that pack looks to be responding now. So Mason, I think it is leading the charge, doesn't want to let Williams or Booker go. The downside is they've still got these two riders 20 seconds or so up the road. We've got Foggy in here and Booker. Let's see how they're going. Okay, Dale Williams straight through. Let's see. 17 seconds now, the gap 18 as they're coming on to the left-hand turn here. Let's get our drone cam up and rolling. So looks like Dale doing a lot of work there with Simon Runnett to pull the group back. He's got to jump back in with that pack and not get split on this group. The leaders, though, are already up on to the climb proper and taking that left-hand turn. So there you go, around the left-hand bend on to the climb itself. The gap has opened in front. We're going to take a run up to our leaders now that this group has got round the turn. 15 seconds the gap back from Booker and Foggy. You can see that yellow beacon behind. Currently on the 5% section of slope now. It is going to yo-yo that gap, and that is because as the riders accelerate and decelerate as it suits the strengths of the climbers or the pack, that group will go out, it will come back in again. Ryan Williams now on a mission to get across. This is the man who is being touted as being the man who's going to make the difference here today. Interesting that we don't have Mr. Hudson with us. I'd have put money Hudson would have had a good ride on here. We're going to see him stay in here. Just seen Joe Blackburn currently at 7.2. Russ has gone off on a mission at 9.5 watts per kilo here, looking to close this down, but he's dropped back down again. Ryan Williams just getting a little bit of draft off Russ here, I think, on this section of climb. And this is where you've got to push and dig deep. This is where it's all about making sure you bury it. You don't want to let this gap go as you come up this climb here. At the moment, Foggy is riding very strongly. So apologies, we're just having a little moment with our drone camera. Deciding that he didn't want to play ball as we go on to this 4% here on this section of climb. You've got Foggy, you've got Booker, you've got Williams, Squires, Downing, Mayland, Mazzoni, Hepton, Blackburn, Jimmy Mack currently in 10th position. Come on, Jimmy, got a gap behind now, get on those wheels. Joe Blackburn. So up they go. Jimmy Mack in 10th, Russ in 9th, Joe Blackburn currently in 8th place, Mayland in 7th place, he's not in first, that's for sure. Hepton in the mix here. Looks like Booker currently dropping in to what is going to be a 5th position. I'll make it 4th place, to be honest. It's currently Foggy, Squires, Williams and Booker. And Squires, Williams and so the group underneath the volcano here. Williams starting to push on. He's looking for Foggy. Foggy's got 9 seconds lead at the moment. Foggy's been threatening for a little while to take this away. Looks like at the moment he's in the right position to do that. So at the moment it is Foggy in 1, Williams in 2, Mazzoni in 3, Booker in 4, Squires in 5, Jimmy Mack in 6, Blackburn, Joe Blackburn, first female in 7th place, and then it's Mayland in 8th. A quick reminder, we can't quite get number 1 up on the screen at the moment. That is because there is number 1 in front of Foggy. Number slightly out. Often happens. Right. So, Foggy up there. Gaps coming down. 4 seconds to Williams behind. 5 to Mazzoni. 8 to Squires. 9 to Booker. 16 seconds to Jimmy Mack and Josh Mayland. 17 to Joe Blackburn and Tom Hepton. 18 to Russ Downing. This is about pushing on behind. Find the groups. Rossini's on the limit. Come on, Russ, we know you got more heart rate than that. Another 5 beats at least, yeah. Paul Simon 8, then it's going to be Rollitt, Dale Williams, Mason, Sam Emsley in there, Eddie Dench. All are chasing, but the front of this group is pushing. At the moment, it is Foggy who is on the climb with the gap. It's 2 seconds, and now back to the chasers, to Ryan Williams. We've still got more than 1 circuit to do of the volcano, just coming to that point. So 1 full circumnavigation of the volcano to do. The height has increased. If we take a look down, it's a long way down and a lot of road. So the and Foggy's going to get joined. He is indeed. This is now 3. 1 has become 3. Tom Mazzoni leading on here. Then Foggy. Amazing what Tom can do when he's not talking all the time. Then it's going to be Ryan Williams, and then Foggy just latching on to the back of this group. They've got about half a circuit of the volcano left. Question will be, can they make this count? It's a long way. Don't look down, guys, if you suffer from vertigo. But the steepest section is still to come here. The volcano climb saves the steepest part for the very top of the climb. As you go up into towards the arch, the kick is going to come. They're at 4% at the moment. It's 9 seconds back to Squires, 17 to Booker, 23 to Blackburn, Hepton, 24 to Mayland and Mack. So here we go, the gradient increasing now. Williams kicks. Williams has put the pressure on, but they are with him, and there's a power up there. Foggy has got a feather as well. This is going to come down to a sprint. Who's going to get this? Foggy versus Williams. Williams versus Foggy. It's down to the last few pedal strokes. It's Foggy who gets a sprint on top. Foggy from Williams, from Mazzoni. I think that's the first time we've seen a full-on sprint finish. As they get to the top, it's going to be Squires who's going to come across for 4th place. Amazing riding here today. So Foggy, Williams and Mazzoni, the 3 riders in and through, followed by Squires. Then it's going to be Greg Booker. What a finish. Good riding by Foggy there. He went over the top. Now Booker's going to come up. It's then going to be Joe Blackburn who comes through, first female tonight, 6th place for Joe. And she goes in over the top there. Josh Mayling coming through, top 10 for him as well. Jimmy Mack is going to be 10th as they come up over. Then it's Paul Simonite. It's going to be Dale Williams, our next rider. Russ already up and over the top there. Plenty of pain for riders. Then it's going to be Jimmy Allen. So a winner in more ways than one as he came up over the top. Then it's going to be Roller, Emsley, Dench, then Bundy, followed by Sharp, Pillsworth, Barr. It's going to be Mason going through McHawkins, Hutch, Richardson, Nathan on his way up to the top here. So come on, Nathan, you're going to get pipped here. He's going to get rolled. I think Varty's likely to roll the lot of them. He is indeed. So Rob Varty goes in and through in front. Throwing him mouse about in the excitement. So great riding there as they come through. Ian Bale through their pots. Blackburn all on their way through. We're going to try and get ourselves back into the riders just onto the climb. Easier said than done at the moment, and that is partly just due to the way the game is rolling as we come around here. Pearson onto that climb. Just going to take a little bit of a run up to see who is just in front. It is absolutely brutal on here, that is for sure. So our rider's starting to head down in game. Just going to make things a little bit confusing when we try and pick up the riders coming through. Pearson's going to be our next rider up through. Joe Blackburn coming through inside top 10. Great riding there by Joe. So Ted Tunnicliffe, next rider through the line then. It's going to be Westwood. It's going to be followed by Nick McDermott. Oh, it's not. Paul Mallon's got him. Just then Nick McDermott, then McCarthy, Donahoe, Morn, Forrester, our next rider, followed by Taylor and Wilson. So good riding by Wilson. He's going to be followed to the line by Doug Main. Another good ride by Doug here once again on the Volcano. Just ticking over an hour and 6 minutes at the minute. So good ride, Doug. Doug inside top 50% comfortably there, as is going to be Andy Keyworth from the out of the saddle group. Then going to be Chris Gale coming through with Mick Clark just behind him. Then it's going to be Mike Killingsworth. Mike's got Dixon Morning there and Rich Langmead as well. I think Langmead just moving a little bit faster at the last little section here. Got Tracy the Terminator not far behind as well. So well done, Tracy. That is going to be 3 of 3. So 3 done on the way through. Good riding by Tracy Sealius. Goes up the climb there. So Joe Blackburn, fastest female time, then Sealy immediately behind. We're just going to take a little bit of drop back. Looks like Houston, a senior, in and through. Mr. Kerry also in through. Forbes and Catlin are being chased by Chris Ball. You see Chris back on form, climbing well here today, chasing Catlin, who's just in front. Bailey is right on his heels though, so he can't relax here. And then it's going to be Dave Fulton. Dave on another good ride once again. Some great riding here on the Chaingang. So Dave showing us just how steep that gradient is. You can just see easiest just as you come up in towards the summit of the volcano, to the lap around the top. So Dave comes in underneath the gantry, going to be followed here by Turner. So it's going to be James Turner next. I think going to be followed by Steve Cannon and Gary Patterson, as well as Josh Corden. Going to be a real mix of riders on the way behind. In fact, you can just see they're coming at some pace here. Patterson's trying to close. You've got Corden just going over the top there, and it's going to be a little kick from Turner. I think a little bit too late. Just gets pipped on the line. Always pays to watch your rear view mirrors. So it's Corden, Turner, Pattison, and then Cannon, who comes up and through behind Cannon. A little bit further down the hillside will be Alex Gidley. Alex up on to the final part of the ascent here. Steep, nasty finish here to finish off the ride. So Alex is going to finish just ahead of Lisa Elliott. Elliott on one of the Fear Squad, great kit, the We Are Fear kit, particularly when you team it up with a merchant biting gloves as well. So Lisa Elliott chasing Gale all the way in to the finishing line at the moment. So pushing all the way in and over the top, Shaw, and then Mason's going to be the order of the riders. So Bobby Mason on his way into that finish. Keep pushing, Bobby. Good ride again by Bobby Mason. He's got Gary Morris immediately behind him. Morris is trying to hold off Grant. Oh, he just manages that. Then it's Grant. And then I think we're going to see Finch on the slope. So Dave Finch, our next rider. He's got Bishop behind. Bishop's pushing a slightly higher watts per kilo here. So this is going to be between Jason Bishop and Dave Finch here. And it's going to be Jason Bishop who's just going to be able to take this. Just push that last little bit. You can see the figure of Bishop going through just in front of Finch. Then it's going to be Simon Jackson. Good to have Simon on the right. Good to catch you, buddy. We will make your email work. It will happen, bud. So a different TV show altogether, that one, but again, showing a great level of ability coming up and through. So good to see Simon, who comes up and through. Now comes the feather, that's what you got to love. Comes lastminute.com. Adam Rose from Chef Wreck on his way up on to the climb. Loving the chat with everybody saying plenty of people taking turns on the way through. So next rider coming in through the line is going to be Adam Rose. Well done, Adam. Adam comes through for the Chef Wreck crew. I think our next riders on the slope is going to be potentially Mr. Flynn on the final circumnavigation, the final lap around by the look of it. So it's going to be Jim Flynn, and then I think we're going to see Tom Lindley and John Goffert and Dan Story. They're going to be our next riders up and on to the climb. Mr. Lindley keeping those legs spinning on his way up there. Then it's going to be John and Dan onto the climb. It's quite a nice climb if you're having a bad time, this, to be honest, because although it does kick, they do soon end, which is very, very, very nice on your way in and round. So you can see the tiny ant-like figure of Jim Flynn on the climb at the moment. Getting a bit more detail now, and you can just see below the road and the causeway below that our riders track across, coming from the Italian villas over there, just making its way across the spit of land, that ribbon of tarmac, making its way in towards the volcano and its pitted slopes here. The volcanic eruptions continue onwards. To Jim Flynn is going to be our next finisher as he comes up onto this climb. You can see the ash and pumice being spewed forth from the summit of the mountain. I'm sure the fire in that mountain matching the fire of everybody's legs and lungs as they come up to the top of the climb. So come the riders to the finish. Next rider in is going to be Jim Flynn. Good ride, Jim. Well done, buddy. It's going to come in just ahead of Tom Lindley. Tom clearly being told to spin his legs out today rather than do anything damaging to them. So Tom Lindley, of course, I'm not sure the gang can take all the credit for Tom's successes on the way through, but great rider, good riding by Tom, and good to see Tom back in action once again. Nice cadence, buddy. 95 revs a minute on the way up here, just sitting at 200 watts. That's just sub 3 watts per kilo. Slope leveling out here as Tom comes up. Tom knows exactly where this finish is. So through goes Tom Lindley. So Tom in and through the roll round and the drop down to the blue banner to go. So we jump in with our red beacon and with Dan Story at the moment. I'm just taking a little look. I think they're about one more circuit to come. Thanks very much, Tom. We'll see you next week. So Dan Story and John Garford just taking a little bit of a breather as it levels out here. This is the indication that once you hit this walkway, that you are going to be on the section that takes you around. You're basically one circumnavigation of the climb from here to the summit at the top of the screens. Let's see if we can dip our camera any lower. We're not going to get away with it on this one. You can basically see where that lava is coming out the top. That is so as our two riders make their way onto their final circuit round, let's get to some of our key messages out there. Reminder, guys, if in doubt, join the gang, join the sports club. Help us make the Chaingang happen. We absolutely love doing it, Russ and I, but we do need some help, and that means that if you can donate, we really, 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 really appreciate it. It does make a big, big difference. It's just allowed us to keep on going this long. It does help us in a big, big way. A big thank you to everybody who's donated so far. Don't get yourselves put yourselves in trouble to do it. But if you do have a few pence spare, or if you can join the gang, even better. Don't forget, of course, you get the support of the people who are up there. They support the gang. Support them. If you're a member of the DCG gang, discounts and support from those people. So if you're a member of the supporters club, don't forget to use those discounts. Make the most of it. Don't forget, of course, it is Valskin month, 20% off for our riders in the DCG gang all the way through the year. And, of course, amazing giveaway, Jimmy Allen receiving a year's worth of chamois cream. Jimmy, no excuse to get the miles in now, not getting them in. And, of course, travel packs, bidons, caps as well. So that's going out to Jimmy. Really good to see that price going out once again. Don't forget, of course, we'll be back on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we will be back with the last ride of Velskin January. Russ at the helm for that. We are going to see our yellow and red beacon being Emma in yellow, and I think our red beacon for the WOW DCG is going to be Miss Cookie. That's Sarah. They are going to be in action on the WOW DCG. They're going to be our next riders who head out on those beacon duties on the WOW DCG. And that's going to be, I think, on Leith Hill, if I remember correctly. So if you're going to join that, do join us. Those two shows are going to be coming out to you on the Donny Cycling YouTube channel, on the Full Speed Events YouTube channel, and on the Donny Chaingang Facebook page. Don't forget, of course, to follow Russ at Fonzie Downing and Downing Cycling. You can follow Full Speed Events at Full Speed Events. You can follow Emma at Biking Emma, and myself, of course, it is at Matt Fix the Pain. I'm going to be broadcasting next on Sunday. You can catch up with me either with eSports Cycling on the morning with the men's finals there. Emma's going to be doing the men's and women's finals. I'm going to be moving on to the men's and women's cyclocross, the final round of the UCI World Cup cyclocross. Then when we've done that, we're going to be into crosscasting into the DCG next week. So please do come and join us. Give us a follow on social media. Subscribe, do all the things that help us make those numbers count when we are looking for support for the gang. Really, really critical. Now, on to the final slopes go our riders. Let's jump in with them. Let's get our drone. We'll peel it out from behind the rocks. And as you can see, it is going to be Dan Story who's going to lead up here. So, Dan, we're going to be out of the saddle pushing this round. It is a nasty gradient, but it eases over the top. It doesn't just stop, it does ease out, which is a real good thing. John Garford said, off you go, Daniel. Well done, 2 right. Nice one, Daniel. Doing a great job here today. None of the Chef Rick Mob, I suspect, out on to the ride. Making his so great riding by Daniel. Well done, buddy. He goes in and through over the line, and that means that John Garford, Red Beacon Supremo, is in and through. Absolutely great riding by John. Thank you very much, sir. for your role in looking after our riders. So as John makes his way down and through, if I can press the right buttons, we're going to head out from the show. So from myself and from Russ, from John, from everyone on the gang, make sure you stay safe. Support the people who support your sport. They are up over there. We will see you again after the weekend on the Chaingang, and hopefully we'll catch up with you a little bit sooner. From that, from me, from everybody else, stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.